So this video is going to be extremely late, but it's a very good one. So it's worth watching. All right. Make sure you watch the entire to hear some great takes. All right. So we have the One Piece stock market. So everybody knows the One Piece stock market goes like this. Boom, boom, like a little wave, like a little jiggly, wiggly worm. I don't know. I'm trying to go with that. But the stocks for One Piece are insane. They can fluctuate so high out of nowhere. But my stocks, where I have all my money invested into, is S-Hawk, Smoker, Sabo, and that's pretty much it. So those two, they're going to be aged really well. Oh, and NL. NL stocks they're going to the moon. Let's check it out.
Yo, this might be the most unplanned video I've ever done, but the One Piece community has been annoying the fuck out of me over these past 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer. And for a while, I couldn't figure out why until like just now. And I think it has to do with a couple different things.
What's up, dog?
One of the things we all love about One Piece is its wealth of characters. Anyone
it has
can
so
hop
many
into
great
One Piece
characters
and find a character that they absolutely love, even if in the large scheme of things, that character is not that relevant. And while that's great, there's something.
So there's this one guy in my community. His name is Cooper the Booper. Shout out to you, Cooper. This man here, he's a fan of Diamante. Now, never will I ever think that somebody's a character, somebody is a fan of a character that is so relevant. Like, yeah, I might be a Smoker fan, but at least Smoker gets screen time, right? To be a fan of Diamante is a blasphemy. All right, I love you, Cooper, but switch it up, please. I would say Magellan. I would say Smoker, those two. Invest in those two and then you'll be wealthy. Trust me, man. Trust me.
For everybody, right? But then there's no consistency in the fan base. Like there's niggas over here that like these characters.
The One Piece agendas are
there's people over here that
the best thing
like
about the community
and hate these characters, and then these people that hate these characters
agenda
think the story should go this way, and then these people that love these characters think the story should go this way.
So we're on the ground, spread out, getting pounded now. Because, yo, he got picked up, slammed on the ground, and his face is getting pounded. Yo, that is insane.
And it gets to the point where people cannot view the story through any lens other than something positive has to happen for the characters that I enjoy. Even if what's going on in the story has nothing to do with that character. And I don't think this usually would be that big of a problem. You know, people have their favorite characters and they want their favorite characters to get screen time and be important to the story. That's all fine, that's normal. But when this really becomes an issue is when you combine that with one of the One Piece fan base's worst aspects. It's how reactionary they are.
What you mean?
We've all been a part of the One Piece fandom long enough to know that One Piece fans will take one tiny little panel or one tiny little scene in the anime and we'll talk about that shit for weeks.
Bro, you have to. That's what makes One Piece so good, because you don't know what's going to happen. So you have to talk about those kind of things. So, yeah. And some people, they're just coping, right? For example, like Diamante fans. They're coping that he's going to get more screen time. It's not going to happen. All right? Same with like Akainu fans and then Dragon fans. If you're a fan of Dragon, especially, give it up. All right, he's not doing nothing. He's been out the series for the longest. Come on, let's be real. Why are you investing in Dragon on all people? That's worse than Diamante. Dragon, he's a fraud.
And we'll use that to justify their agenda, forgetting all the things that happened before it. I'll definitely talk about the Blackbeard Pirates more later in this video, but Van Augur is a great example. I've seen Van Augur skyrocketing in people's rankings, and it's like,
insane,
forget
bro.
What this nigga's role is on the crew? He's a sniper. He's a Usopp victim. He can only be but so strong. But One Piece fans see 1 or 2 scenes, 1 or 2 moments, and I was hyped as f for those moments too, don't get me wrong, but they start getting carried away. And then later on, Van Augur's gonna do what he's supposed to do and lose to Usopp. And niggas are gonna be like, oh, Van Augur was fumbled. He wasn't that raw. He was that raw. He just wasn't that strong. But One Piece fans see 1 or 2 things and start judging the series based on that, forgetting about the wider scope of the story. And this creates another issue with One Piece fans where they put unrealistic expectations on characters based on these 1 or 2 key moments. Like I said earlier, I'll get into this more later, but to me, the biggest victim of this is Zoro. And all of these different behaviors come.
Zoro? Whoa, what do you mean? Zoro's a great investment. What do you mean by
together
that?
to form something that One Piece fans have collectively started calling the One Piece stock market. And nigga, this might be the most turbulent stock market in the world. If the world had to go off the One Piece
I got
stock
turbulence.
market, we would all be living under bridges right now, fighting
What?
for scraps and shit. And One Piece stocks got it all. We got the rising stars, we got the turbulent stocks and the more consistent stocks. We got stocks that have fallen off over time. We even got indirect stock fluctuation from shit that other characters are doing.
Paint
like
these
anytime
sword.
a swordsman does something good, Mihawk stocks are going up. And Mihawk hasn't even done shit. And
Ah,
how
for
turbulent
real.
One Piece stocks are can be annoying as fuck. But it's also hella entertaining, I can't lie. And I
Very.
think I just wanted to make this video to talk about some of these stocks, how they're trending, how I feel about it, and maybe some of the stocks I'm invested in this year. Egghead has had some of the most turbulent.
Why does he keep saying turbulence? Do you want to see another guy's booty go up and down? Why do you keep saying turbulence, bruh? Come on now.
stock changes ever, which is why I think I've been so annoyed lately. But one of the stocks that I mentioned earlier that has faced a bit of a decline is Zoro. And I think this is just unfair for Zoro. To be honest, I feel bad for him. And Zoro fans, this is 100% your fault. Y'all are the exact niggas I was talking about when I said y'all place unrealistic expectations on characters and then get mad when they don't reach those expectations.
What do you mean?
Because realistically, there's nothing wrong with Zoro struggling with Rob Lucci. But Zoro fans have been using ticky-tacky Mickey Mouse feats to try to put Zoro on the same status as Luffy, and that's the real reason that they're mad about this shit. And now, because Zoro fans have been pushing for the longest, Zoro's borderline Yonko level. Zoro can already beat.
Okay, whoa. Yo, okay, Zoro fans, you've officially lost your mind. Zoro's borderline Yonko level, while Sanji's borderline Admiral level. Zoro after a combined Yonko attack. Okay, bro. Yeah, this is insane.
An Admiral. Now y'all got the whole community clowning on this nigga when Zoro is doing perfectly fine. And we all know he's gonna beat Lucci. But now, y'all have put the expectation on him that, nah, Zoro needs to one-shot this nigga. He has to low diff him. And now y'all look fucking stupid. Now, I can't lie. Niggas been clowning Zoro for that bandana shit. Bandana-kun. Nah, that shit's funny.
No, it's crazy, though. Every time he puts on the bandana, he wins. Every single time. Especially if they're a black character. That's all I gotta say.
Got Zoro summoning Jinbei like Maharaga. But it's cool.
Yo, that's
come chapter 11, Zoro stocks are gonna go right back up because One Piece fans have the long-term memory of a fruit fly. Another stock that has been hella up and down in egg.
They don't even have brains. What do you mean? A fruit fly? They don't have brains. They're too small to have brains.
Is Sanji.
Come on now.
And again, Sanji fans
Who doesn't know
do
that?
this to your fucking self. And Sanji fans are more on the reactionary side than Zoro fans are, because Sanji fans take one little panel and use that shit to hype up Sanji, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword, my nigga. So if you do that shit, niggas are gonna use little panels of Sanji to slander that nigga. And that just happened like last fucking chapter. Y'all use them 2 panels of Sanji, be like, oh my god, Sanji's fighting an admiral.
He don't got a clue in the fucking world.
Now look at you, fighting for your fucking life. And this is why all my agendas are the best. But before we get into that, let's talk about some of the more stable stocks in the series. I think Luffy stock used to be pretty turbulent, but now post Wano, it's pretty consistent. You're not really risking anything rooting for Luffy.
That's true. He's the main character.
That nigga now. Another stock that I think is super consistent that some people might disagree with me on is the Admirals. And some niggas might say, oh, look at Keith.
You said the Admirals. This dude just got turned to pizza dough. Spinning around on his finger. And you just said these stocks are good to invest in. You need to be canceled. You know, I'm waiting for you to drop the hard R somewhere so I can cancel you. Because that's insane. Alright. Investing to the Admirals is like throwing away money. It's like putting money in your microwave. Why would you do that? Horrible idea.
Kizaru, he getting slandered every week, blah, blah, blah. Niggas slander the Admiral. They get their little jokes in, but the Admirals have always been the standard. When a nigga wants to call his character strong, he says, oh, he could be the Admiral. When Zoro fans want to hype up Zoro, oh, he could be the Admiral. When Sanji fans want to hype up Sanji, oh, he could be the Admiral. They are like the gatekeepers for being a top tier. And that's why I think their stock is always going to be consistent, no matter what like slander they face, or no matter what bad panels they have. It's always going to be consistent because they are the gatekeepers for becoming a top tier. Are you Admiral level? No, then you're not a top tier. I think Mihawk and Shanks too have some of the most consistent ones, even though they have their little battle with each other. It's like battling at the top. Like everyone has Mihawk and Shanks at least in their top 5. I hope you do, unless you're fucking stupid. We also have this thing where One Piece is a long show. It's been going for a long time. So there are some stocks that look consistent as fuck for the longest, but now they're starting to drop. The closer we get to the end of the series, the more those stocks go down and down. I think my favorite example of this is probably Kaido and Big Mom. Because as much as I think Big Mom is coming back, the more other characters start to get more and more feats, the less and less impressive Big Mom and Kaido start to seem. And now this is nothing to me, because I've always been on the train of Kaido as a fraud. But as far as the wider community goes, that
You just said Kaido's a fraud? Are you out of your mind? This brother is lost.
World's strongest creature shit held a lot of weight. Now, Big Mom, I think her stocks are irreparably damaged, but only because her stocks are connected to Law and Kid stock. And there are a lot of fan bases that have something to gain from slandering Law and Kid. Luffy fans slandering them, saying they're not on the same level
Kid
as
slander
Luffy.
is insane.
Zoro fans slander them, saying they're not even on Zoro's level. They couldn't scar Kaido. And it's strange because after a certain point, it feels like villain stocks can no longer raise. They can only drop. Like once as a villain, you lose one time, your stock cannot rise unless you leave the story for a long time and come back stronger. So like Lucci, once he lost to Gear 5 Luffy, niggas are never gonna raise that nigga's stock again.
Bro,
it doesn't matter how.
I hope he brings up a no, because Enel's gonna make a return and he's gonna be overpowered, right? If you want to know why I say Enel, click this video right here, because this is my space theory and I talk about Enel in it and it's pretty cool. But yeah, the only villain I would say it'd be Enel. Maybe Katakuri. Maybe Doflamingo might come back. That's it.
How good he does against Zoro, that stock is perpetually dropping for the rest of the series. Same thing for Kaido and Big Mom. Damn. And it kind of feels that way for Kizaru too. He got knocked down by Gear 5 and niggas are not giving that nigga no respect no more. Once you lose as a villain, I guess it kind of makes sense because as a villain, your main attraction is intimidation. So once you're not intimidating anymore, I guess people just don't respect you. Now, do I think Kizaru's stock should be dropping or that Rob Lucci's stock should be dropping just because they can't beat Gear 5 Luffy? No, but the stocks go how they go. I can't control that.
Well, charge it to the game, bro.
And then we've got our more unknown stock,
like
a dragon or an emu or the rest of the Gorosei. Like we know these characters have to be strong, but we have no idea how strong or what type of role they'll play in the final arc. So everything we talk about with them is just pure speculation. Throw the God's Knights in there too. Now personally, I like investing in the mysterious stocks. Those shits are a gamble because we seen niggas invested in Saint Saturn and now that nigga is just getting embarrassed every chapter. Now a stock that felt a lot more mysterious up until recently is Blackbeard. I think with what the anime showed of him fighting Law and all the different moves
that fight right there was beautiful. I react to this fight. You know, I'm not even caught up yet, but if you want to see me react to that, it's right here. It's pretty good. That was like 2 promos and 1 video. I'm on something today. But yeah, I was saying why he didn't one-shot Blackbeard with his room, and then he hit him with a, was it amputate? But apparently he couldn't amputate him because his hockey is like too thick or something like that. So yeah, that's
Blackbeard has been making cover stories, and in recent chapters people are finally starting to come around to the Blackbeard stocks. But for a while it felt like people were unsure about where Blackbeard was gonna fall. Personally, I always believed in my nigga. I've been investing in Blackbeard since I watched Jaya, nigga. I've been on that shit. So, you know, it feels pretty good.
Why are you lying? Since Jaya, come on now. Since Jaya, nobody was investing in the Blackbeard. Do not pull that. You invested when you saw my impel down. Alright. So don't do that. Come on now.
Good to see niggas finally coming around, but y'all should have did it earlier, nigga. It's too late. Which brings me to my own personal stock. You know, I've already talked about Blackbeard. I believe in that nigga. He's gonna be the king of the pirate. Alright, let me not go that far.
Okay, yeah. That's King of the Pirates is wild. There can only be like 3 people that can be King of the Pirates. Luffy, Buggy, or Smoker, if he converts to piracy. Outside of that, nobody else.
The only other stock that I'm super heavy on is Kobe, because niggas just hate on Kobe so bad.
They're high.
What? He's just a nice kid. But I love Kobe. He's my second favorite character in the series.
What?
Luffy. So I'm always looking for good shit to happen to this nigga. And lately,
how was Kobe your second favorite character in the series? Brother, starting off as Kobe, he was a loser. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing you can like about Kobe when he was a little kid. He was a loser and he was ugly. 2, he has no cool powers, right? 3, he has pink hair. Unless it was like, actually, I'm gonna drop the pink hair part. 3, no screen time until later in the series. Who favorite character is just Kobe out of everybody? That's just odd to me. I'm just saying. But some people say, "Whoa, Malik, your favorite character is Smoker." Brother, Smoker carried pre-time skip One Piece. All right, he carried Punk Hazard. His fruits, amazing. How he uses fruits, amazing. He has his own like little. He needs to change the weapon. I'm not gonna lie, that little nasty baton thingy. But he has a weapon that's unique from everybody else because he uses a sea stone baton, which is pretty fire. His morality, really good. His sense of justice, really good. That's like all the aspects that make Smoker a great character and one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece. But Kobe, no. Your brother was just saying Garp. Garp is just Kobe is a wannabe Garp, but he can never be a Garp. Yeah.
My agendas have been going
I'm cooking
great.
right now.
Blackbeard looks great. He look like he moving in to do some crazy shit, which I can't wait on. And Kobe looks great. I don't give a fuck when nobody says Garp passed the hero mantle down to this nigga. We see honesty, impact, and personally, I think that's just conquerors, but to each his own. And I feel like on
That is not
Hachinosu,
conquerors.
they were kind of setting up a confrontation between Kobe and Aokiji, which will put Kobe pretty high. I'm just saying. But Kobe's another character that's a victim of the reactionary shit that I talk about. Because if niggas remember the chapter before Honesty Impact, niggas was dogging on Kobe. Mostly because they was mad because Garp was getting done up, which was obviously always gonna happen. And people expected Garp to
Also,
go.
for those saying, Malik, you're spoiling yourself, I've already known about this. So I'm not spoiling nothing. Just let it be known. I'm not spoiling myself. I've already known what happened.
And just stomp the whole Blackbeard crew, which again goes to show how much people
Because some One Piece fans
underestimated
were
this
saying that Galaxy Impact Punch was planetary. And some people taking literal saying it's a galaxy level. Bro. At most, it's island. Alright. But yeah, that's like topic for another day. I don't want to get into power scaling. But I'm just saying that's how I figured out about it in the first place.
And it's crazy how both my agendas got validated in the same couple of chapters. It not only showed how competent the Blackbeard pirates were, but how strong Kobe is. And f it, I'll throw Zoro in there too. Despite Zoro not looking the best right now and his trajectory being a little bit downward, I think Zoro has big things coming this year. I'm looking out for Zoro. A lot of it has to do with the shit that was set up in Wano, and I think a lot of people think, oh, that shit's not going nowhere. But I'm looking at that Grim Reaper scene, and I got some thoughts about where that could be headed. And not just Zoro, Sanji too. I think both of them have a lot of growth coming their way super soon, but because the One Piece fandom is so reactionary, they're not even looking at what's getting set up. But at the end of the day, I'm just here for the jokes. And I know niggas is always gonna joke on Sanji and Zoro, and I'm here for it.
Bro, Sanji's so down bad.
But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all boys today. Let me know what stocks you're investing in 2024.
I'll let you know.
Like the video if you like.
Let me guys know what your guys' stocks are in. Give me your top 3 stocks. Like the video and subscribe as well. And if you want to see another video similar to this, click this right here. Click this right. Click that video right there. All right. I'm Malik, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.